Hello, wonderful person. This is Philip, and I am going to talk some more about happiness, and specifically about physical habits and a supplement that I use to increase my happiness, or I have used to increase my happiness. I currently don't do one of the most important things, and that's simply because I cannot do this here. What I'm talking about here is cold showers. When I was living in Switzerland and also in Austria, I used to take ice cold showers every day, and I did actually stay in there in the ice cold water for at least 3 minutes a day. And after a while, I could do 5 minutes or even longer, and it started to almost feel pleasant, but in the beginning, it's still unpleasant to me. The reason I don't currently do it is that I live in Florida, where the water temperature is just too high. It's about 5 to 10 degrees Celsius, so that's roughly 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, too high to actually be beneficial. Now, I still use cold water, for example, to wash my hair, but cold water here is literally about 20 degrees Celsius, even 25 in the summer. So that's almost what warm water would be like up north. So yeah, I try, but I don't kid myself into thinking that I'm getting the same benefit. Now, when you do really cold water, as cold as it goes, and in Vienna, where my parents live, that is 5 degrees Celsius. So let me calculate that. It would be about 41. I think it's exactly 41. I'm not all that good doing math in my head. I have a degree in mathematics, but that doesn't mean I can always do it very quickly. Anyway, so yeah, in the 40s, that is really beneficial. Now, like I always say, none of this is supposed to be medical or professional advice. Please don't give yourself a heart attack. If you must, see your doctor first to ask about whether you are someone who should take a cold shower. One thing I also did, especially in the beginning, was something I think they call a James Bond shower, where you first start with a hot shower, and then once you get hot, then you turn it all the way to cold. It's sort of a little bit more bearable. It's a little bit easier to get into it if you do it that way, I think. Anyway, yeah, daily cold showers. Not only, if you live in a cold climate, not only won't you be cold throughout the day, but you will actually be much happier, and I was much more productive during that time also. Now, I'm not saying that was the only reason. It might have actually just been coincidence, but I'm pretty sure that the showers themselves made me happy. There is just a tremendous sense of accomplishment and warmth right after you step out of the cold shower, and that sort of, in my case, seemed to carry through the entire day, really. Okay, so cold showers. Now, hand in hand with cold showers and living in a cold climate goes one particular supplement that also has a noticeable impact on my happiness when I take it. I don't always take it, so that's sort of how I know. And it's called Rhodiola. It's a plant. It's nothing refined. It's no chemical substance. It's just a ground up plant. I think it's the root of the plant, actually. It's a brown powder. In my opinion, it tastes pretty nasty, very bitter, and I only take about 1/8 of a teaspoon, so that tiny quantity, it's not that hard to swallow a little bit of that powder. There are people who find that it tastes delicious. I don't know, maybe you'll be one of those. But yeah, that once a day will make you, that is scientifically proven, will make you more resistant to cold temperatures, and I believe it's also scientifically proven, but if not, you can do your own experiment. It also increases happiness in general. So those are some of the other strategies to increase happiness. Now, of course, exercise is a big one. The reason I don't talk much about exercise is that I never really got into it. I never learned to exercise properly. I hardly exercise at all myself. The little exercise that I do, which is usually just yoga, stretches, very simple stretches. I'm not good at yoga either. I just try my best. Makes me very happy and just makes my body and my mind feel much better. Even if it's just stretching a little bit, I don't think I'm going to make a yoga demonstration video, simply because I am very much a beginner at that kind of thing. So I don't want you to learn incorrect poses or anything from me. I'm sorry, you'll have to look at someone else's videos if you want to see how to do yoga, but I do recommend it. Someone who has never exercised much, who feels like he can't really exercise at all, doing some simple yoga poses has improved my life a great deal. So yeah, those are a few of the things that make me happy. Again, this is not medical advice or professional advice. When I say you should do something, I just mean it as one person to another giving an opinion, not a professional opinion. I have to say all these things, or I think I have to say all these things, because, as you may know, we have a huge mob called the world government. I don't think they call it the world government yet. They still call it individual governments that just so happen to do the same thing at the same time all over the world. So we have this huge organization that is trying to ban anything that makes life easier, that makes people happier, that helps them not consume so much but live more. So obviously someone like me is not allowed to give medical advice or anything like that anymore. So you'll have to get your medical advice from medical doctors. There's one piece of advice that I want to give you though. When a medical doctor gives you medical advice, look at that person himself or herself and ask yourself, do you want to live like that person? Do you want to be like that person? If that person doesn't look like someone that should be giving medical advice, even if he is a medical doctor, see someone else. I'm thinking of someone in particular, and I'm sad to say that he passed away. He was a doctor of medicine, and I just thought to myself, maybe I should not necessarily live exactly as he does. He ended up having a heart attack in his late 50s, I think, and passing away from it. Of course, it could happen to anyone. I could have a heart attack right now and pass away. None of us are immune from that. But just try to make informed decisions. If you're watching this, and especially if you've watched some of my other videos, you probably see something in me that reminds you of yourself, some kind of connection that you can make where you think to yourself, oh, well, this person, he looks sort of like me, or he looks like he understands or sees things, perceives, that's probably the best word, perceives things in a similar way to how I perceive them. And that's really what it's all about. If you just think that I'm stupid or whatever, if you don't like the way I look or sound or talk, then don't listen to my videos and don't listen to my advice. Yeah, I don't know where all this came from. I think I've been thinking recently about this whole YouTube thing that I started here recently. What am I really doing here? What's the purpose of all this? And it comes back to the fact again and again and again that while we still can, I want us to use the internet as a means of finding people that you resonate with, if I dare use that term, people that are similar in some way to you or to how you want to be, and just be with them in a way. Listen to my voice for 10 minutes rather than listening to the news anchor who just says the same thing to everyone, and it's usually what they want you to hear. I'm reminded now of, I think it was a Simpsons episode, where on the news channel the anchor said something like, "Good evening, I am shallow but authoritative." I mean, that's really what it comes down to a lot of the time, isn't it? And of course, if you don't have my sense of humor, again, I don't want to torture you with this, you don't have to watch this channel, but if you like listening to what I say, and if maybe some of the things that I say inspire you, please feel inspired and please share with others. Comment here, start your own YouTube channel, start a blog. Just let's create communities of people that are into the same things, into things other than the Kardashians or whatever they're called, and, well, don't put me on the spot, other than politics, Republicans, Democrats. I mean, there's more to life than left versus right, or black versus white, or man versus woman. There is a lot more to life if you just want there to be more. That's sort of the message that I want to put out there. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and have a good day.